What is going on, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of the 2 Cents Footy Podcast. My name is Akram McAllister, and as usual, I'm joined by my co-host. Let's start with Luke Johnston this week.
Yeah, I feel like I started last week too, so I don't know what's happening here. I don't know if I've got some UCL privileges these days that I can go first, or if I've got if you win on the weekend in your respective league. I know that's not for all of us, specifically Hayden. But yeah, how are we doing? We're chilling, we're fine.
Winning's not for everyone.
Very tired, bro. Hospital's crazy. And the workload is not stopping. Zach, yeah, I know before we started here, you were just saying that it's coming to the end of your course, bro. I can't imagine what's going to happen in the next 2 years when we start coming to the end of ours, but, we'll leave that for then, and we'll just leave it to the soccer today. But otherwise, A-OK.
Yeah, I'm sure you are happy with Eden Hazard finally getting on the score sheet over the weekend. Scoring that penalty, right?
It's a slightly more difficult thing to answer there, but the fact that he's there and he's got both legs, and he's not rolling on the field, it's a positive for me. We've got to take the little things. Well, I'll take it. Could have had worse weekends, you know what I mean?
Definitely. I mean, you got the dub in the end, so I can't really complain.
Fair enough. Yes, sir.
Speaking of another man whose team walked away with the dub, Daniel Pike, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. What's up, everybody? From a football standpoint, at the very least, doing great. Obviously, Spurs won their match. I mean, squeaked by with a 1-0, but, a win's a win, as the majority of the podcast know and understand. We're just gonna keep hustling you, Hayden. It has to happen, But yeah, football's doing great. Obviously, I enjoy, City and Liverpool dropping points at the same time at the start of the season. So that's always enjoyable. But vastly stressful as always, and the workload is just only getting better. Bigger, more work is just piling onto my schedule. It is absolutely ridiculous. But it is my bachelor's, so I can understand things are going to get hectic, and hopefully we can just, get by, how the standards have just decreased. Used to be like, let's get these distinctions, get the high marks, and now it's all the way back down to let's just pass this and get this over and done.
Fighting for your life.
No, definitely.
Survival. That's what it's all about. Just surviving. And finally, the moment everyone's been waiting for since about 11 o'clock last night. Hayden Anderson, how are you doing?
Well, let me just say this. I know that our viewers don't care how I'm doing on a personal level, so I'm not going to give you any of that elaboration. But I'm not doing great. I'm not doing great. You know what? I mean, what is there to say? You all know,
bro,
you know how it happened.
What if your mom watches these? I don't
need to indulge anybody. I don't need to indulge any of you guys. I'm doing crap. So yeah, that is my official answer.
Keeping it brief as well, Hayden.
Official statement.
Nice. My man's cut straight to the chase, eh? No venting today, man. He's not felt sorry for himself. He had the whole of last night.
Look, I don't know.
So let's get to the reason why you're feeling like that.
It was very much overdue for Liverpool to lose a match. Liverpool have not. I don't know. They won a piece of silverware, the Community Shield, absolutely charmed Man City. And then they decided, you know what, we could take the next few weeks off. I don't know if it was arrogance or what, but I think that Liverpool have played atrociously over the last 2 games. I mean, some people say that Liverpool started to dominate the game against Crystal Palace after they went 10 men down. But I mean, a match is 90 minutes, and Liverpool, they weren't great. They were far off their best against Crystal Palace. Against Fulham, I didn't watch the Fulham game, but the fact that you're drawing 2-2 away from home at Craven Cottage, I mean, yeah, you're away, but still, you would expect more, especially from a team that had just destroyed Man City. And then you get the match against Man United, and they play with no heart. The midfield didn't exist. I don't know. I think it's finally we have received definitive proof that you cannot play Henderson and Milner in the midfield simultaneously. It's not a recipe for success. Liverpool's got no bench. We are 3 weeks into the season and Liverpool have no bench, which is crazy. But Liverpool's not going to buy any midfielders because that's not how Liverpool does it. And I think Trent has been on horrific form. Salah just doesn't exist in matches. He manages. I don't know. I think the style of play has just cut him off. He feels like he is there to score a goal every now and again, but in terms of making an impact in the match for the rest of the other 89 minutes, he's not there. He's very much incognito. So it is the inevitable result of what has been an incredibly frustrating period. So I hope that having reached this climax, that all those players in the Liverpool squad have no excuse anymore for at least we haven't lost yet. At least we've got some points. They have to now sit and introspect and really, go back to the drawing board and try to find out what is fundamentally wrong with that squad, and get themselves ready again. Pick themselves up by the bootstraps and get themselves playing bloody football properly.
Was the grass not too dry, too wet, or
perhaps it was
the wind pressure was like wind pressure wasn't legit.
Look, I know that you mock, and it is you're mocking some of the comments Klopp has made, but I think Klopp makes those comments deliberately when Liverpool has not played well in order to draw a lot of the ire and the media attention to himself rather than the team. So you go ahead and you continue to perpetuate what is a media strategy by Klopp.
So what do you say?
The grass wasn't too wet, bro.
I didn't even listen to what Klopp's post-interview comments were, because I think I listened to a small clip, and I think that he was talking about them playing well or whatever, but that's ridiculous. Liverpool played horrifically. There was just no energy. Liverpool were getting out-pressed and out-muscled by Man United, and those guys are terrible.
I was just about to say, Luke, what's your diagnosis? What stage of grief we talking? Denial,
every week, yes. I don't know. This is new for Hayden. Hey, this is new for Hayden.
What do you mean? I don't know. I am always extremely honest when it comes to my club, and I'm willing to diagnose the issues and the problems that they face.
It's just Liverpool unfortunately doesn't take many L's, so this is like
What is very shocking is the stark difference between the club that is currently the team that is currently being fielded, and the team that was fielded towards the end of the season, end of last season. Because Liverpool are just off the back of challenging for a quadruple, and now they can't even beat Fulham. They can't even score goals. They struggle to score goals. It's like it's crazy the difference in the quality of this team. It's eerie, to be completely honest. Like, what could have changed to have reduced the quality of this club so drastically?
Where's Konate?
Sadio Mane.
Injured. Why is this?
Sadio Mane cannot be the linchpin. It cannot be the one element you remove and the entire club, the entire team crumbles. It's too ridiculous.
I agree.
The problem is
it's a pretty big loss, though. But I agree.
What? Sorry?
It's a pretty big loss. I mean, Mane was one of those guys who could just create stuff out of nothing. So, it is a bit of a loss.
But it's not that sad.
Luis Diaz hasn't been as good this season. Nunez, I think, is still adapting. So I can understand the struggles in attack to a degree, but I think the bigger issue is the midfield. Their midfield is just atrocious.
Yeah, I think Hayden did make a good point that the midfield was non-existent. And I mean, if you've got a team like Man United, who's arguably got one of the worst midfields in the league currently, which could change. We can talk about Casemiro later. I know Zach, calm down. Luke can calm down as well. But yeah, if Man United's midfield is dominating your midfield, then something's up. Even more so if it's the famed Liverpool midfield.
What do you mean the famed?
Who started?
There's no famed Liverpool midfield. It's the least attractive part of Liverpool's squad. It's been the least attractive part of Liverpool's squad for the last 5-6 years. I think it's, at this point, what players does Liverpool even have that are of quality that they could field in the midfield? So obviously Fabinho... Thiago, but he's injured. He's a glass cannon. Fabinho, when he's on form, is good. When he didn't play, he didn't start the game, and I think
is he also
the
injured?
absence was very palpable. He even though he's been in terrible form, at least having him there makes some sort of impact. I don't know. And then the third midfielder is always interchangeable. Everyone else is crap.
Like,
Yeah.
I think a big problem with Liverpool's midfield is that half of them are extremely injury prone. Like
It's bad.
Thiago, you mentioned, made
It's
of
false.
glass.
It's like
The dude's-
it's crazy because it's false depth. Because there are a number of players that Liverpool
Yeah.
have that they can field as midfielders. It's just that half of them are never available.
Exactly. Like, I've seen a lot of Liverpool fans blaming injuries on their poor performance so far this season. But I think that you can only blame that to a certain degree because you are buying these players that have terrible injury records. Like Thiago, throughout his whole career, has had injury problems, and you bought him when he was over 30. So you can't really expect him to play a full season. Keita, Oxlade-Chamberlain, like these guys are guys who have had injury records in the past. So I think it would have been a good move for Liverpool to get in at least another midfielder. You know,
I think
so that
for what-
you can sort of rotate
the-
that player with Thiago and have Henderson and Fabinho as your starters. And then if you have, Milner, Keita, and Ox when they're fit as like depth options, like you mentioned, then I think it's fine. But to have to rely on one of those three being fit, I think it's tough.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, who's that Fulham youngster that they signed?
Carvalho. I was going to get to those. two.
Carvalho.
Look, Elliot and
I
Carvalho,
really enjoy him. I think he's got lots of potential.
That's the thing. They've got potential. They're still green, and you cannot trust an entire midfield to those sorts of players, those youngsters. I suppose that when Elliot and Carvalho were on in the Man United game, they injected some life and enthusiasm into the game. I mean, it was when Carvalho came on that Liverpool actually scored their solitary goal. So I think there are definite benefits. Like I think there are good players. The problem I think is that they're not stable. They won't form a stable midfield. They'll give you good attacking options, but maybe in terms of work rate defense, they're not the best. They're not industrious enough for what Klopp needs them to do. But that is yet again, from what I've seen looking at Liverpool forums and stuff, is that the plan is that Liverpool is not going to buy a midfielder this season, and they're going to try buy Bellingham, make a serious attempt to buy Bellingham next season. But Bellingham will not come in and immediately fix the midfield. It feels like there's something more fundamentally broken at Liverpool, because the team that played yesterday was a Liverpool starting 11. Yes, Liverpool might have injury problems, but it was literally a starting 11 of Gomez, Van Dijk, Arnold, Robertson. Yes, okay, Henderson Mulder in the midfield, but you had Salah. Okay, I think we all need to recognize that Firmino is completely washed. He does not, he shows friendly match football.
Oh man,
He is not
fall
just
from grace.
has
Honestly,
not
like if
scored
you went
a
back
goal.
to
the side
3
of Chelsea
episodes, it
last
would have
few
been.
years.
If you went back to
Got
3
more
episodes,
fake
it would have
teeth
been like
than goals, gents.
Firmino's positioning is exactly what makes Liverpool's attack work so well.
I have not. No, look,
I guarantee
I've never
you,
made that. I
we
haven't
can-
made that argument in recent time. Look,
We
I
can
think-
get a sound clip of Hayden saying
Look
those
for it.
exact words.
I mean, look for it. Yet, I think it's been a long time since I think anybody's really had anything positive to say about Firmino. He's really fallen off, and he's aged, and he's past his peak, and he struggles when he's on the field. Like, I think there was one opportunity where he could have passed the ball. He tries to scoop it. He tries to do something extravagant, and it just fails miserably. And he's also just non-existent with Liverpool play. And then there's Diaz. Diaz is good. I think Diaz worked some magic against Crystal Palace, and it's like the reason why Liverpool got like a draw. But there's something about the style and the tactics of Liverpool that is really obviously undermining the way that they play, because you don't hear about Salah during a game. You don't hear about Diaz. And it's been 3 games of that against teams like Crystal Palace and Fulham. So the problem is more fundamental than anything, and we're playing a strong team.
I didn't watch the full game, but I watched some of the extended highlights, bro. And I don't remember what I think the Rashford goal. I don't remember like what happened there, but the Sancho goal, Virgil's chilling,
Yo.
bruv.
Virgil was getting locked up, bro. He was getting arrested there.
Virgil's getting clapped by Mitrovic game week 1. He's getting clapped by someone game week 2. Like, this guy, how fundamental this is in that backline, and now he's not popping. So I think that's a bit of a red flag, bro.
Look, no one's popping. This is going to be a long season for Liverpool. It's going to be tough. It's going to
What's Robertson doing? Because Trent is ass. Verge is not on form. I don't know if Gomez has ever played soccer before. Is Robert?
I honestly think like Virgil and Matip have been bailing out Trent and Robertson for the longest time, and now we're only finding out because Virgil is on something, and obviously Matip's not there anymore.
Yeah,
Look,
They're going to be the missing piece.
Gomez is not a bad defender. He was instrumental to Liverpool winning the Premier League when they won it two seasons ago. But yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Trent
anyway, how much of the blame do you think Klopp deserves? Just finally.
How much blame do I think
How
Klopp
much of the blame do you think Klopp deserves for the performances so far?
I think a lot of the blame. Because, as I said, I think the way that Liverpool has come out to play this highline stuff, there have obviously been alterations in the way that Liverpool's trying to maneuver the ball. And it's not working. And I think what Liverpool also needs to recognize, and I think what Klopp needs to take responsibility for, is that Liverpool is unable to break down a low block team. And it has been like this for years. It's the reason why Liverpool lost the Champions League final. And it's been the reason why Liverpool has been unable to win a game for the last 3 matches in the Premier League. And yet, Jurgen Klopp has not changed anything. He has not adapted. He has not tried to come up with an alternative style of play in order to specifically target these low block teams. And he hasn't adapted, and now we've lost. And we've got 2 out of 9 points. And I think that is directly his fault for not coming up with a plan B and only sticking with a plan A, and for making such only making substitutions late into games. So yeah, I think a lot of it is his fault. He's a great manager. It's just that he needs to be humble enough, I think, to recognize that sometimes his tactics don't work, and he needs to be able to come up with alternative styles of play. Or bring back gegenpressing, because I don't know, Liverpool, you get outpressed by Man United. That's ridiculous. I don't know.
That's quite funny.
Terrible.
A team that doesn't press outpresses you.
Listen, bro, like I mean,
Jurgen Klopp team, that's bad.
No, because there's obviously, and maybe it's the players as well being arrogant, but I think it's the instructions that they're getting, because you know that Salah and Diaz can make runs in behind. They just don't.
Bro, with these extended highlights too, like, it wasn't Liverpool's greatest game, but I don't think they didn't have the opportunities. Like, they had shots too. It just was one of those. It looked a little bit.
They did have shots. Liverpool have had very few creative good opportunities.
They had 17 shots
but most of their shots came at the end of the game when United were like trying to defend a 2-goal lead.
They were mostly pot shots.
71% position, 5 shots on target. They had both. I don't know.
I think that's the problem.
It was horrible.
Those 5 shots on target. I swear to you, 3 of them were like headers that bounced into the ground and then.
That was also an issue. Headering straight into the ground or kicking straight into the ground. You know, finishing was terrible.
Just completely
all the goals
freshing a
that
shot.
Liverpool has scored this season have not come from something that's been well worked. The goal that they scored against United was from a corner, which is a set piece. I don't know how much, and it was a very chaotic goal.
Yeah, it was a huge hustle by
United
Salah.
suck at defending corners.
Yeah, look, the goal they scored against Crystal Palace came from Luis Diaz literally taking on Crystal Palace by himself and scoring. The goals against Fulham, I can't remember the second goal, but the first goal was just masterclass fluke, flick back heel, whatever.
Diaz.
From was it Diaz or Nunez?
Oh, sorry, Nunez. Yeah,
that was Nunez. It was like
It
went through his legs and then ricocheted back onto his back heel.
This is very unusual because the goals have not come from quick play. They haven't come from something being well worked. It's just, they came through sheer force of will. So there've been no like sexy train crosses. Well, I haven't seen one this season. I don't know if you've seen one this season.
No, true, Hayden. I've been disappointed. My FPL has also been disappointed in Trent. Honestly, my God.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
I think maybe that's also the fundamental problem is that all the creativity at Liverpool come from the 2 wing-backs, and those wing-backs have been atrocious this season. I don't know, but like Robertson's been non-existent and Trent has been bad.
Listen,
but yeah.
Liverpool tactics, Jurgen, whatever. The biggest masterclass that came from this game was benching Maguire. And so, Zach, you can take it away with the masterclass that came from Ten Hag, bro.
Before
I'm
we
not
talk about United,
Yeah,
Yes, Aiden?
I'm not gonna stay here to listen to that. I have self-respect.
okay. Before you leave, your score draft pick, just so you know, your pick of Salah, as I'm sure you remember,
Yeah, so I get a
went
point.
woefully wrong. Yeah.
But I get a point.
Look at that, Hayden. You took something out of this weekend.
Forest versus Spurs. I'm gonna choose Harry Kane.
Hayden, bro. Come on, man.
On
And
that
to be
beautiful
fair-
note, knowing that I've ruined Daniel's day just to get back at him, I leave in peace and
I
full
think
of
I may have
joy.
also already chosen Kane. Have I,
Oh.
Zach?
Cheers, boss.
No, you haven't. And to
Yo,
be fair,
Hayden.
you would have gone before Hayden had
Come on, man.
had he been here.
I have never
First-
gone first, so I am screw all of you.
Hayden, first you destroy my FPL, now you destroy my scorer draft, bro. You
I'm here,
and
to cause,
Liverpool can't do me any dirtier, honestly.
I'm here to cause violence and chaos. And with that, I bid you all adieu.
Cheers, bro.
Cheers.
Adieu, brother.
So now we get to the fun part of the podcast. We get to talk about the
Whoa.
greatest team in the Premier League.
Yeah, Zach, just before you start, I mean, this guy Hayden, what an absolute tart, eh? It's like we just start talking mad smack about Hayden as soon as he leaves.
Trash talking Hayden.
Oh man, came on, tuned the whole Liverpool squad, bounced.
Even tune
No.
Klopp. When did you ever think Hayden would come out and tune Klopp?
It's a revelation.
Anyway.
if you ever watch this, Hayden, we love you, bro. Mad respect.
Yeah, he's dedicated to the grind. Speaking of being dedicated to the grind, Eric Ten Hag came up with a masterclass against Liverpool. I don't know. I thought it was a really good performance. United played in a classic United way, sitting deep, hitting teams in the counter. Marcus Rashford, I thought, had an unbelievable game. I thought playing on the counter, playing into space, it really suited Rashford and Elanga and even Sancho. I think that's probably the way United are going to look to play moving forward. It'll be interesting to see how Ten Hag adapts to this, considering that he's not going to get the space that he got against Liverpool, against every team. Like, for example, we play Southampton this week.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to be playing with a high line, or at least the way Liverpool played. So it'll be interesting to see. I don't think that United are going to be able to play like this moving forward against many teams, but it'll be interesting to see how he adapts. But overall, I thought you can't really complain with a dub against Liverpool.
Honestly, I was utterly surprised by the just motivation of the Man United players. And I mean, like, I guess maybe I'm a fool, because if the entire world is looking at you and calling you guys frauds and fakes and, like a disgrace to the badge, like, you would think that that's going to motivate you. But at the same time, I was like, after two bad performances and all this negativity surrounding you, I was like, wow, like everyone came to play. Everyone acted as a team unit, which is, I hate to say it, but unlike the Manchester of today. Like, everyone is like their own, number one. Everyone looks out for themselves. So it was great to see everyone just hustling together and just putting in that extra effort, because honestly, every second ball fell to a Man United player. That's just how I saw the game. And I guess it was scrappy and whatever, but on any other day, you'd see Liverpool getting those second balls. But Man United's work ethic or work rate was just so high that they managed to, just nip it when they needed it. So, and I mean, that's what you want. You want those 50-50s to turn into 70-30s. And that's what happened. I don't think there were really any star performances or any like huge carries. I will say Jadon Sancho's finish was immaculate, super composed. I mean, it was helped by like tragic defending by Virgil. But yeah, I always love Christian Eriksen. I think he's a top class baller. And I was surprised by McTominay's work rate at the end of the match. I think he was just hustling to get every single ball, like whether it was on the top of the pitch or at the bottom of the pitch. And I think Bruno did a masterclass when it came to the antics and the drama and, falling down, grabbing his leg or grabbing his face and wasting time. But otherwise, I can't say so-and-so carried or so-and-so carried. I think it was just a huge team effort. And there were some instances where you could have seen like 2 own goals. One, Bruno Fernandes just kicking it straight into Martinez.
Yeah.
I don't know what he was thinking. And the other one, I think it came off Martinez that time. It deflected off him, and then Dyer saved it as well. I'm sorry, Dyer. De Gea. Spurs is on my mind 24/7, boys. Yeah. But I mean, that's just a result of everyone being switched on 24/7. As soon as one of your teammates make a mistake, you're there to cover. And that's been what Manchester United has been lacking. There's maybe 1 or 2 good performances, but in the general sense, everyone is turned off. No one's motivated. No one's working hard. Everyone's kind of just waltzing around. And I think that was really there. And I hope it was more than just a necessity to perform that well. I hope there was some lead in the dressing room, or maybe Ten Hag put in a good conversation, a good speech, and then everyone felt motivated, as opposed to the necessary motivation coming from the media or the fans or whatever. Because that motivation from the media, it's not always, how can I say, it's not always there or as compelling. But if it's a lead in the dressing room, or it's your manager that you're listening to, that goes a long way and that lasts a lot longer.
That's why it's kind of like a double-edged sword for me, this whole passion thing. Because, you're going to be passionate if the media's on your back, you got your back against the wall, you've got, you're playing Liverpool, like you're under pressure, like you're going to be like really passionate and aggressive and fighting for everything. Whereas, you play Southampton away, you might not have that same passion.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of thing that worries me. But then again, it does also encourage me that they have the side to them, that when they need to, they can turn it up. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm really excited to see what happens in the next few weeks, because I think United are going to undergo a lot of development. I hope, at least. So I just want to see if we can carry this through moving forward.
No, me too. I'm definitely interested to see if Casemiro makes an even more positive change.
Like, Zach, going to be honest with you, bro, coming into this game, I was like, yes, it's not looking good, bro. It's not looking good. Like, there was just a lot going into this. And, like, I love United. I love Liverpool too. But just my personal opinion, like, even a subpar Liverpool, for me, would still come out on top, given this United, the state that United are in coming into this game. You're getting pumped by Brighton. Was it Brighton? Who was the first one? Yeah, it was Brighton, and then Brighton, and then what was the second? What was last week's bad one?
Brentford.
Getting pumped by Brighton and Brentford. I was like, yes, okay, it's not looking too good. Bro, and then no Ronnie starting. Maguire on the bench, which I guess in hindsight was a good thing, but then that also means that we've never seen Varane and Martinez together, so I wasn't sure how that was going to pop. Malacia starting, I was keen to see that. Like, unfortunately, I was on call. Like I told you guys, I was in the hospital, and I was busy like chilling with patients, and I saw the lineups, and I was like, yes, this is a different lineup. It's not looking good. This is going to be crazy. I was like, my FPL is going to pop, because I was on like 20-something, 30-something, and I was like, Salah's needs to start cooking tonight, right? And then I saw this lineup, and I was like, this is chips, bro. I'm gonna get a haul tonight, guys. I'm gonna get a haul. Yes,
FPL,
and I was busy
FPL
chilling.
is safe.
Bro, I was like 50-something
FPL's
minutes into the game. When did Rashi score? He scored 53. So I think I looked at my FPL like 57, 58, and it was 2-0. And I was like, nah, bro. I was refreshing my app, because I was like, no, this is not right. Rashford.
Glitch.
I was like, no. What's going on here?
Didn't you have him in your team?
Yeah.
We should probably say this for the FPL pod, actually.
Yeah, no, definitely.
No, I was just saying, like,
also,
I was exceptionally confused, and I was like, I don't know what's happening. And bro, so I was so bummed, because I thought I'd be able to come home a little bit earlier, at least watch the last half an hour or something. So I got home like midnight or something, and then I seen that they'd won, so I was like, GG's. and Twitter, I immediately went to Twitter because I knew O's are going to be buzzing, bro. I knew, because also the thing was, it was also like, I thought there was going to be some sort of protesting there with the Glazers out, like that movement that's kind of going on. So I thought there was going to be no home support. No one was, the vibes were low. I was like, this is going to be crazy. And it like landed up working out in the end. So, but also again, like, I don't want to take away from this W for you guys, this rare W for these guys, but like, I don't know how confident I would be going into this next game, like, because for me, it still feels like there's still very high potential for it to be bad again. Like, there's like, it's, like Dan, you were just saying that the loose balls, it was scrappy, but they just got lucky, and there's going to be those games where it's unfortunately not going to be lucky, and you're going to have whichever guy running, you're going to have Zaha coming at you. Who's United's next game?
Zaha, St. Max, like, they will not survive.
You're going to have Southampton. Okay, I don't know who's going to Southampton. Shea Adams is going to come sprinting at Martinez, and yeah, sometimes it might not work out in the end, but you know what? You got to live in the moment, bro. So I'm sure you were absolutely stoked, bro. And now you've got Casemiro. So it's only up and up from here, bro.
Casemiro?
Oh, Zach, don't disrespect my boy.
You're not feeling Casemiro.
Don't disrespect my boy.
I've said that he's the GOAT CDM. I mean, he might be like,
we know he's the GOAT CDM,
but he's got experience. He's got experience, and hopefully that's the leader you guys need in that
but Zach, Zach's
build-up role.
Zach was right about Ronaldo messing up the system. Ronaldo benched. These guys beat Liverpool. So, Zach's got that masterclass quietly brewing in the background.
So
what's the plan, Zach?
My take on Casemiro is, I think that if you look at it in isolation, like you just look at Casemiro being added into this United team, I think it's a brilliant move. I think it's great. I mean, the dude is just unbelievable defensively. Like, probably the best, or at least like top 3 maybe, defensive central midfielders in the world. Like, the dude just claps Oaks
honestly
all the time. Like, Luke, I'm sure, like, you can speak to this as well. Like, the dude is just immense defensively. Like, he is going to be the rock. He's going to be the anchor. That United can build this defense
flipping,
around.
pocketing prime Messi for the last few years, bro. It's going to be, and you guys needed a CDM. This day one, we probably started this podcast just that we can chat about United's lack of a CDM.
Lack of CDM.
Now you haven't just got some random ass guy like from the Bundesliga or something like that.
Rabiot.
You've got Casemiro, and there's always going to be those haters like, yeah, he's been playing with Kroos and Modric, which is like very different to McTominay and Fred, which it is. But this guy's still, I'm sure, Zach, you've seen compilations like Welcome to United. This guy just slides in like there's no tomorrow. This guy's going to be in your face. He's not the greatest progressive passer, but I don't think that's exactly what you need him for.
That's why you got Eriksen.
I was about to say, you've got my boy Eriksen, you've got Fernandes, like it's looking good. So you haven't got a CDM, you've got, in my opinion, probably at this stage, the best.
Yeah, like I definitely think he's up there with one of the best CDMs in the world. I do think that he doesn't solve all of United's midfield problems. Like, I don't think you sign him and it's like, our midfield's sorted now.
100%.
Because, like you said, he's not the best progressive passer. I don't know. You probably know better than me, but the way I understand the Madrid midfield to work is you have Modric, who's kind of like the link between the midfield and the attack. He's the guy who's like pushing forward, getting the ball to the strikers and the wingers. And then you have Kroos, who kind of like drops like to the centre backs and trying to progresses the ball from the defense into the midfield. And then Casemiro is just like the link between them. He just kind of keeps things going. He's not really like moving the ball forward in any way. So I don't think that he's going to be able to come to United and do that. So I still think United need another central midfielder who can do that. Eriksen could, maybe. But again, I don't know how long-term or sustainable Eriksen is going to be able. Like, I don't know if Eriksen's able to play 34 league matches for United plus.
I mean,
games
I
in
think
the
he's
cup,
done the
games in
most
Europa League.
distance out of any Man United player at the moment, and he still looks good. But for me, the
He
main
looked
issue
cooked. He looked
the
cooked. It's the end of the second half yesterday.
I mean, the thing is, but like
Which is
they were
understandable.
depending on him like defensively and in attack as well. Like he was nipping the ball continuously. And I think if he just gets that load lifted off his shoulders a bit by Casemiro, it can work out. The only thing that I have to say about Eriksen is his like ball holding skills or ball carrying skills is not as good as Modric. He can pass the ball forward
His
nicely.
ball possession.
His ball possession, his ball carrying, yeah.
His ball holding.
I was gonna say like
From his Tottenham days.
ball retaining. You're saying like that.
Ball
like,
retaining.
Yeah. But the words escape me. Yeah. Unlike Modric,
You just went back to what you know, bro.
Bro, listen. You've done me dirty there, Luke, man. Come on, bro.
You're editing the podcast. You can decide whether this stays in or not.
Now Eriksen ball holding, Eriksen's ball possession, ball regression, everything. Eriksen and balls are just top tier, bro. Top tier.
Yeah, no, because Modric can do like a fancy dribble and retain the ball, and then you're safe. But Eriksen, he's really good at releasing the ball early, and sometimes there won't be that opportunity, and he's going to need to hold the ball, and like defend it a bit, and then get the ball off later. And I feel like that's maybe where he might like come up short. So that's why I'd agree with you saying they need like one more CDM that can help out with that as well. But I feel like you guys should do the one CDM, the two cams, and just take that risk, because I don't know, like two CDMs. Yeah, I don't back that for you guys especially, because then Rashford
It wouldn't be like
Sancho get the ball, and then there's no one to pass to because it's only them two in the box.
It wouldn't be like a traditional CDM though. It'd be like De Jong would be the ideal guy, because I think if you get De Jong, he can do all the build-up stuff. He can do the progressive stuff, and then he doesn't have to have the defensive responsibility of a Casemiro, but he can defend. And then he can also push forward and have Casemiro sit back when we have the ball, and then Casemiro protect the back four, and then he can push up. So I think that like at the moment that United team is perfect for what Frankie De Jong wants to do. But just the last thing, Casemiro. Just the last thing, Casemiro, is I'm also worried about the financials of this deal, because the dude is 30, which, I mean, I think Son is 30 as well. Real Madrid just bought Rudiger and he's 31, and no one really, cared about that. But I think the reason why Casemiro's age is so important for United is because Spurs and Real Madrid are competing now. Like, those are teams are looking to compete right now. So it makes sense to get guys who are that age. Whereas United realistically are not going to compete in the next 2 to 3 years. Like, I know we just beat Liverpool, but we're not going to compete for Champions League or Premier League in the next 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
So by the time the earliest time we can really compete is when Casemiro is like 33, 34. And at that point, considering like there are already questions about his mobility now, like I think by the time we're actually ready to compete, he might not be the player we need him to be. But if he can just get us there, if he can be the player who can improve us now and make us better in the now, so that by the time we get there, we're in a good position, I'll take it. He's also on ridiculous wages, like 600k a week. So
Bro,
I think that
guys and wages, man, it's destroying your
thing
club.
is,
honestly,
the wages mean that Casemiro has to work. If he flops, we're not going to be able to sell him because he's over 30, and he's not going to want to leave because he's on high wages. So we're basically going to have to just eat the contract for the next 4 or 5 years. So he has to work. He has to be good for us. So
ideally, you guys want another maybe younger CDM to be his understudy. I think that would be the best for you guys. And then you can just rotate between those two.
Yeah, there are some youngsters coming through from the academy that I think could use his mentorship.
Yeah, Perisic and Ryan Sessegnon, how that's operating at Spurs at the moment.
Yeah.
Zach, you do not have to worry a day in your life. I've watched this guy since we started, and in Madrid, if you're making a difference in Madrid, you are definitely going to be making a difference in United, okay? Madrid's flipping staff members can make a difference in United, bro. Like on the field, it's this guy's
good.
Get
Zidane in the midfield.
The thing is, like, you've got people that are creative in the midfield that can break the lines, that can progress it forward. Casemiro, don't have to rely on him that much. But then again, also, the Prem is a lot more free-flowing than La Liga. Remember, La Liga has got a lot of those low blocks, a lot of that like slower build-up play. He's done it since he's been doing it. You know, it's not as fine-tuned as Kroos and Modric, but then again, it's Kroos and Modric. Like, there's barely any people that can do that, let alone a flippin' CDM. The guy's passionate, and the best thing about Casemiro, especially with Madrid, bro, like, you could see it was night and day with him and without him. He, especially with, I don't know, Varane's not very adventurous, like, going forward. So I'm guessing Martinez is probably going to be that guy.
Yeah.
No, definitely.
Perfect.
I mean, if
Martinez
you've
is
got
the
like a
Casemiro-
whatever guy in the back,
relationship.
yeah, that's definitely
Casemiro's,
his purpose.
Casemiro's positioning in Madrid was amazing, where he would let Ramos go forward a lot and Varane would stay back. He would fill that that centre half, that centre back position. Everyone will go progress a little bit forward and he would like cover that position. His covering was amazing. And the attacking comes every now and again. He's definitely like one of those Modric's where it's kind of like when he does score, it's an absolute banger from however many kilometers away, it's a scorcher, bro. It's a banger from far and it's in the top corner, or it's just one of those beauties that just happen. So he does have that. And I don't know if you watched was it the Super Cup where we played Frankfurt? He provided the assist, bro. It's like we got the assist. He's there. He's tall. He's physical, and you know the Prem loves that, hey. So he's going to be another person, and unfortunately Martinez is not going to be that aerial threat there for corners when you're taking them. So he's going to be there. He's going to be amazing, and bro, age is just a number. This guy's sliding in. He doesn't care. It's Casemiro, bro. Just when you when you watch those videos, you know exactly what he's going to be. A Milner. That's exactly okay. Milner, unfortunately, is not the greatest example to bring up right now, but the longer longevity of this guy is going to be immaculate. So don't stress, bro. It's going to be all good. It's Madrid's retirement home, bro. Modric, you can get Modric next season. Then you can get Kroos the following season, and then
Varane,
then you can bring Benz, and then you'll get the whole band back together. Ramos will probably be free. Navas is probably going to be second choice at PSG, bro. You can literally just get Madrid.
Yo, I'd take Navas. Not gonna lie, I would take
Madrid.
Navas in a heartbeat. Right now.
You can get the Wish version. You can get the Wish Madrid. You know, maybe we can keep some people. You know, like I don't know, Malacia looked pretty hot. Not gonna lie, there in the back.
I don't know, Zach. We're getting on in time. Yeah, do you want?
I was about to say we're heading towards 45 minutes. Yeah, I still wanted to talk about Chelsea losing to Leeds. Like that was pretty big. They just also submitted a bid for Anthony Gordon, 60 mil for Anthony Gordon. Crazy business.
At this point, they're just throwing money at their problems.
Exactly, Luke. Your reaction is exactly what I'm talking about.
Bro, they even put a bid for someone who got rejected recently. I'll find it now. Sorry,
Jules Koundé.
Was it Neto?
It could have been Neto. I think they.
Neto or someone. But while you look that up, I also want to talk about Spurs and Wolves. I thought that was a good game. I thought Wolves looked kind of frisky.
Wolves actually looked really good. Spurs got away with it, in my opinion.
And Fofana, that's it. They were going in for Fofana.
Did we lose Luke?
I think he's just got a bad connection.
Yo, sorry, gents.
Yeah. And then the game of the weekend, Man City Newcastle. Man City Newcastle, which in my opinion was the game of the weekend. That was an absolute banger.
Absolute Newcastle masterclass. Saint Max is a baller of ballers, bro. He is like honestly the top baller. His dribbling skills are unmatched. I mean, up against Kyle Walker, arguably the fastest defender in the world. And my man just puts him on skates. Crazy stuff.
He plays like Kamikaze style, bro. You know? He plays in such a weird way. Anyway, like you never really know where he's going because he runs, but he's crazy. He's like Vinny first season. Like he will go through your legs and you won't even know, bro. And he'll be 20 meters ahead of you, and then the next moment he'll do some trash pass that Daniel can do in his sleep on the hockey field, and it's kind of like, what's this guy doing? But GG's to him, I think he scored 2 against City, hey?
No, I think he got an assist and he scored 1.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
But he was top draw in that
Yeah,
game.
so Prem was crazy this weekend, but unfortunately FPL wasn't crazy this weekend. But
Yeah.
we'll get there.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah. Getting to the scorer draft though, the order for this week will be myself, Dan, and then Luke. Last week, apart from Hayden picking Salah and getting that goal later on in the weekend, none of us did anything. Sterling, yeah, he had the ball in the back of the net, but I think it was offside.
And also early in the game as well.
Yeah, so Luke unfortunately got nothing from him. Dan, Kulusevski failed to deliver for you. And then Arsenal managed to score 4 goals. None of them were scored by Saka though, so I end up with 0 as well. So this week I'm going back to the Arsenal well. And I'm going to be picking Gabriel Jesus to score against, I think they're playing Fulham. Yeah, they're playing Fulham at home this week, so have to go with the man, Gabriel Jesus. He's been on fire recently, so that's my pick.
Is it me now?
Yep.
I mean, I was disappointed by Kulusevski not getting a goal this past week, but I'm going to stay faithful to my boys, and I would have gone for Harry Kane, but I'm going to go for the next best thing. I'm going to go Heung-min Son with at least 1 goal. Just a question beforehand. If he does score 2, are we giving me 2 points or what's going on here? Okay.
You get as many points as your player scores goals.
Ooh, okay. Interesting.
Damn.
Hopefully Son pulls through.
That is a pretty good fixture, Nottingham Forest.
Alright. If that is the case, then I'm going to be getting 3 points from Rodrigo from Leeds, because man has turned into prime
the hot
whoever.
topic.
My man is... I've never heard of this, bruh. We had him last season, and now he's scoring goals on the reg,
player.
so...
Ex-Valencia player, Rodrigo.
Valencia, yes!
Yeah.
Jesse Marsh,
and now he's-
masterclass. We actually forgot to mention that. Like, not only did Chelsea bottle it, but Jesse Marsh has entered this season with a bang. My man knows what he's doing.
The amount of American Leeds fans is just about to skyrocket this season. They've got Marsh, they've got Aronson, they've got Tyler Adams. Like, watch out. In like 20 years' time, they're going to be just a whole group of American Leeds fans. And you'll be like, well, how did this happen?
Beautiful.
It's going to be because of Jesse Marsh.
GG's.
Oh, yeah. I think that wraps up this week's episode. If you have enjoyed, please be sure to give us a like, 5-star review, or 5-star rating, and drop a review as well if you can. It does help us in the algorithm to get on the charts. But yeah, until next time, this has been the 2 Cents Footy crew of the 2 Cents Footy podcast. Have a good day.